The sound of the bell. One spring morning, Toby the tram engine was puffing happily along the line with his coach Henrietta. It was his turn to collect the children and take them to school. Toby liked this job. He enjoyed listening to the children smile and cheer as they went along the line. Soon Toby arrived at the station where the children were waiting. The children waved as Toby pulled in.
Hello, Toby,
They smiled.
are you taking us to school today?
Yes, I am, replied Toby. The children were pleased to hear this. All aboard, called the guard. The children climbed on board Henrietta, and the guard then climbed back on board. Then he blew his whistle and waved his green flag. Right, Toby, said his driver, let's go. Toby rang his bell and puffed happily away. Toby was enjoying his trip a lot. The children were having fun in Henrietta. They liked riding on Toby's faithful coach.
Ring your bell, please, Toby,
Called the little girl. I think the children want to hear your bell, Toby, smiled his driver, reaching for the bell. This made Toby smile even more. So he gave a happy ring of his bell. It sounded soft and jingly. The children cheered for Toby, and the guard joined in too.
hip hip hooray!
Chanted Henrietta. Toby felt very proud to be a tram engine. He loved the sound of his bell. Soon Toby could see the school station up ahead. He could see the fat controller standing there with a smartly dressed woman. Toby was puzzled. Who's that? He asked his driver. That's the headmaster, replied his driver. Something must be wrong. Toby couldn't think what could be wrong, but before he could think what, he pulled into the platform. The headmaster was waiting for him. Hello, puffed Toby.
Hello, Toby.
Sighed the headmaster sadly. The children climbed out of Henrietta and then ran towards the headmaster. They were excited to start their school day. The headmaster had bad news.
I'm sorry, children,
She said,
but the school bell isn't working today, so I'm afraid the school will have to be closed.
the children were upset. Toby was worried. Can't you use something else apart from a bell? He asked.
I'm afraid not,
Said the headmaster.
We've no spare bells, and the teachers can't shout to the students when it's lunchtime or home time.
There's no other way, Toby, said the fat controller. A school needs a bell. The workman arrived with a broken bell. I'm afraid it will take a day to repair this bell, he explained. It's clogged with dust and dirt. Then Toby had an idea. Please, sir, why not use my bell? He suggested. The fat controller was surprised. But what about you? He asked. I still have my whistle, said Toby. I could use my whistle, and you can use my bell until the school bell is fixed. Toby's driver and fireman spoke to the fat controller, the headmaster, and the workman. It took a long while, but soon they agreed. Very well then, Toby, said the fat controller, but you had better test your whistle to make sure it still works. Yes, sir, agreed Toby. So while the workman took out Toby's bell, the driver gave Toby's whistle a polish and a clean. A couple of minutes later, the whistle was ready and the driver pulled the chain. Toby's whistle sounded good and it gave a cheery sound. Excellent, said the fireman. It works just fine. Good, agreed the workman, and he left to go and fix Toby's bell to the school. The fat controller and the headmaster came to see Toby.
Thank you for lending us your bell to us,
said the headmaster. It was very kind of you, put in the fat controller. Now on your way, please, Toby. Your passengers will be waiting for you. Of course, sir, said Toby. I'll be on my way, sir. He blew his whistle and then puffed away. Toby puffed along the line with his shiny whistle. He blew it again to check it still worked. Beep, beep. Good, he smiled. Now I'm sure my friends will still be able to recognise me. Then Toby reached the junction. The signal was red. driver slowed him to a stop. Then Toby heard a whistle coming from behind, and then a rattle of wheels and coaches. It was Molly. She was pulling the express. Gordon was away shunting trucks. Molly pulled up alongside Toby. Toby blew his whistle to say hello, but Molly didn't answer. She didn't know that Toby was blowing the whistle. Toby was surprised, so he tried again. But still Molly didn't answer. "Hello, Molly," called Toby.
Oh, hello, Toby,
Puffed Molly. "I did blow my whistle to say hello," Toby pointed out.
Did you?
Asked Molly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't recognise you without your bell.
Toby gasped when he heard this.
Where is your bell?
Asked Molly. Toby told Molly all about the school bell and how he lent his bell to the school. "I'll get my bell back as soon as the school bell has been fixed," explained Toby. "I still have my whistle, so at least I'm safe."
Maybe so,
exclaimed Molly.
I just hope everyone will still recognise your whistle.
Then Molly's signal changed to green and she puffed away.
Goodbye, Toby,
she whistled. Toby blew his whistle, but then started to feel worried. "I hope my friends will be able to tell I'm coming," he said. "I'm sure you'll be all right," his driver replied. "As long as you have a whistle, everyone will be able to hear you." Then Toby's signal changed to green, and he puffed away. As Toby puffed to the next station, he was starting to get worried. "Well, he didn't recognise me," he thought. "Maybe lending my bell to the school wasn't such a good idea after all." Toby didn't feel as happy as he was earlier. He puffed into Kelsall Station where his passengers were waiting. Harvey and Belle were there on the other platform. They were doing repair work on the stairway. Toby stopped beside the passengers. They waved to Toby and smiled at him. "Hello," said Toby. "All aboard, please." And he blew a toot of his whistle. Harvey and Belle were surprised to hear that sound. "Was that you, Toby?" asked Harvey in surprise. "Yes, it was," smiled Toby. "It was my whistle."
My goodness,
glared Belle.
I was hoping to hear your bell.
"Where is your bell, Manawee?" exclaimed Harvey. "I lent my bell to the school whilst their bell is away for repairs," said Toby. "Are you sure that's wise?" put in Harvey. "What will the Fat Controller say?" "He's all right with it," puffed Toby. "We talked about the idea with him before we did anything." This made Belle feel concerned.
I hope you'll be all right, she said. A tramman should listen the same without a bell.
Then the guard blew his whistle and Toby puffed out of the station. "Goodbye," whistled Toby. Belle was worried for her friend.
I'm sure Toby's going to have problems soon,
she thought to herself. Further up the line, Toby was starting to feel empty. But it wasn't his tanks that were nearly out of water, nor was it his steam pressure in his cylinders. Toby knew that he was missing the happy sound of his bell. Toby then approached the bridge. He could see lots of people up there. Toby decided to try and blow his whistle to them. Toby whistled as loud as he could, but none of the visitors saw Toby. Toby tried again. "Hello," he called, but the passengers were busy getting on board Bertie the bus. "Hello," Toby called again. "Can anyone hear me? Hello?" He whistled again and again. Bertie heard the whistle and then looked to his left. "Oh, hello, Toby," he said. "I'm sorry, I didn't recognise you. You don't sound the same without your bell." This made Toby feel even more upset, so he puffed on away from the bridge. Toby sighed as he approached Tidmouth Station. He was feeling miserable. His driver and fireman were worried for their engine. "What's the matter, Toby?" asked his driver. "Nobody can recognise me," Toby groaned. "Everyone keeps saying I'm not the same without my bell." His driver and fireman felt very sorry for Toby. The driver patted Toby and his his fireman puts more coal into his boiler. Then Toby heard a horn from behind. It was Mavis. She was passing through with a train of stone. She had to stop so that she could rest her wheels. "Go on, Toby," said the fireman. "Whistle hello to Mavis." But Toby didn't think this was a good idea. "Do you think she'll recognise me though?" he asked worriedly. "I'm sure she will," smiled his driver. Then it was time for Mavis to go. She tooted goodbye and set off out of the station. Then there was trouble. Mavis didn't know that the guard had gone into the station cafe for a drink and sandwich. When he returned, he gasped to see Mavis leaving the station without him. He ran to the brake van, but was too late to jump in. The train was moving quickly away from the station. The guard blew his whistle and waved his red flag, but Mavis didn't hear him, and neither did her driver. "Stop!" the guard shouted. "Stop!" But it was no good. Toby decided to use his whistle. He took a deep breath and blew as loud as he could. "Beep, beep, beep, beep," he whistled loudly. "Stop, Mavis, stop!" This time Mavis heard this.
Something's wrong,
she cried. The driver applied the brakes and brought Mavis to a stop. He looked back down the track. "Oh dear, Mavis," he said, "we've left our guard behind." By the time Mavis was brought back into the station, the guard was waiting for her. He looked stern. "I am surprised, Mavis," he said. "You should know better than to leave your guard behind."
I'm sorry, sir, said Mavis. "I didn't know you weren't on board the train."
"You were very lucky that Toby blew his whistle," the guard went on. "If it wasn't for him, I would have had to run up the track." Mavis turned to Toby. She felt very silly.
"Thank you, Toby," she said. "Your whistle was very loud."
"Hooray for Toby!" cheered the passengers. Toby smiled happily. He felt much better as the cheer echoed around the station. "That's all right," smiled Toby cheerfully. For the rest of the day, Toby felt very happy. He felt very proud of his whistle. Now wherever he went, he blew his whistle and his friends whistled back. The children stood by a fence and waved and cheered for Toby. Toby was pleased to be noticed again, as he was pleased to have used his whistle after all. Toby was soon puffing back to the school station to pick up the children. He knew that he would be getting his bell back. Toby arrived at the station. The Fat Controller, the headmaster and the children were all waiting for Toby. Toby arrived feeling very cheerful. The Fat Controller came over to see him. "I hear that you were very helpful at Chidmouth Station today," he said. "You saved a tricky situation and got Mavis's train back on track. Well done, Toby." "Thank you, sir," grinned Toby. Then Belle puffed up alongside. She wanted to give Toby a visit. Then no sooner as she stopped, Mavis rolled up as well. Toby was surprised to see them.
"We heard about your rescue,"
puffed Belle.
"That was very quick thinking." "Thank you again, Toby,"
Mavis put in. Then the workman came over to see Toby. He was carrying Toby's bell. "It's time to fix your bell back on," said the workman. So as the workman went to work, the headmaster spoke to Toby.
"Thank you for lending us your bell," she said. "You helped us save a school day from being cancelled." "You're a hero, Toby,"
smiled the children. The workman had Toby's bell fixed on in no time. When he climbed down, his fireman winked at him. "You know what to do, Toby," he grinned. Toby knew what he meant, so he rang his bell as softly as he could. Everyone was pleased to hear this.
"Now that's a sound we all know well,"
said Belle.
"It's the sound of Toby's bell,"
agreed Mavis. "I am very proud of you, Toby," smiled the Fat Controller. "You have proved yourself to be a really useful engine." Toby was so happy he beamed from buffer to buffer.
3 cheers for Toby!
Cheered the children. Everyone cheered and clapped for Toby. Belle blew her whistle. Mavis tooted her horn. And Toby gave a loud ring of his bell.